Hari Om and welcome to 2021 Mahasamadhi Camp. We are your hosts, Chinmaya Mission, Washington Regional Center, and this is Family Yoga Class. Thank you for joining us. My name is Amita Jain, and I am the yoga instructor here at Chinmayam in Washington. I trained at Vyasa Yoga University in Bangalore back in 1999. And I've been teaching ever since then. I'm also an Ayurvedic doctor, so many of my classes focus on the healing and therapeutic benefits of yoga. You'll see that in each of our classes, I have a number of students joining me. They've been practicing along with me for the last several years, are dedicated yogis and also members of Chinmaya Mission. I asked them to join me so that they could be a source of inspiration for all of you who are watching. There are students of all ages, as I'm sure you are at home. So please do get the whole family involved, your children, your parents. There's something for everyone in these classes. They are designed to be mainly an introduction to yoga for all levels and all abilities, all ages. But remember to take it at your own pace. Don't overextend. The motto in yoga is no pain, more gain. In each of the classes, every day this camp, we will have a unique focus. Our Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda says, healthy body, pure mind, and brilliant intellect for our spiritual quest. So each class, we will focus on one of these aspects so that we build a complete and holistic state of well-being. So day one today, we will be doing an asana routine to help us obtain a healthy body. Tomorrow, day two, our asana practice will be for a pure and clear mind. Day three, we will learn how to develop and sharpen a brilliant intellect. Day four, the highlight of our yoga classes will be launch into action with abundant energy. I think you will enjoy it and learn a lot at the same time, so don't miss a single class. Gurudev has said, if I rest, I rust. There perhaps could not be a more apt phrase to demonstrate the condition of our society today. Too much rest and so much rust. You may be surprised to know that about 60% of adults in our society suffer from at least one chronic illness. But here's what is more shocking, and that is that 40% of adults suffer from 5 chronic illnesses, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, arthritis, obesity. It goes on to state, these statistics, that we are 60%. Our likelihood of developing a chronic condition as we age is 60%. Now, we know the many risk factors of disease, right? We know that poor food choices and sedentary lifestyle, too much stress, consumption of alcohol, we already know that these things lead to illness and disease. But in my opinion, the number one right now in today's world cause of disease is what is known as the sitting addiction. It's called the sitting disease. By scientists, I call it the sitting addiction because we're addicted to sitting all day long at our desks for 8 hours, on our sofas to watch the news. At night, we're lying down. Studies show that if you add up the time that we're actually active, it's only 3 hours in an entire day. Last year, I had to collect research on these kind of statistics for a seminar I gave on the effects of yoga on chronic illness. And this was the most shocking, that women have a 94% higher chance of death if they sit for 6 or more hours in a day. Men have a 48% higher chance of death sitting 6 or more hours a day. 94% higher for women. This is quite shocking. So how do we counter the effects of the sitting disease? There are times when we do have to sit at a computer or a desk. How do we take care of ourselves? How do we keep our internal organs functioning optimally so that we don't land as one of those statistics? Well, that is where Hatha Yoga comes in. And today, you're going to learn a routine that will help you to maintain a healthy body throughout your life, simple and easy to do. So follow along, grab your yoga mat and a water bottle, and let's get started. I'd like to begin our class today, day 1, with an introduction of my students here in our studio. Joining us, we have Dinesh, Henna, Rama, Prem, Rao, Mangala, Ramdas, Meena, Shankar, and we have Anita on the side. So let's get started. Have your mats ready, be at the center of your mat, and join the palms together at the heart center. Close the eyes. Make sure the feet are together and feel the heels pressing firmly into the ground as you straighten the legs, elongate the spine, align it with the back of the neck and head. Closing the eyes, take a few slow, deep breaths. As you breathe in, feel energy entering into your body, helping you to get ready for your practice today. As you breathe out, let go of all other thoughts. Breathe in and energize. Breathe out and let go. We'll open class with our Om chants. Take a deep breath in. Om. Feel the vibrations of the divine sound all through the body and the head region. And let's bring the chin down. Open the eyes and rest the arms alongside the head. Let's begin our class with a few loosening exercises. Dinesh here is going to be modeling for you, so you can follow along with him or the students in the class, all of which are at different levels and who have been practicing yoga with me for quite some time. So follow along, feet apart, arms up overhead. Inhale, deep breath in, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Continue. Keep the arms straight as you move forward and backward. And if you can, try to avoid any bend in your knees. It is family yoga, and I hope that children are following along as well. And we have Henna Jane here, age 13, who is demonstrating for the kids. Last two. And now bring the arms out to the sides at shoulder level, elbows straight, and feet wider apart. Make sure that the outer edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. And we're going to begin bending to one side and then the other. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, or just breathe normally. Again, knees are straight. Arms should be straight, reaching up towards the ceiling. Turn the head as you bend from side to side. And feel the outer edges of the torso getting a nice stretch, as well as your inner thighs, shins, and outer edges of the feet. 2 more. Back to center. Now with arms out to the side, drop the chest forward and try to have a straight back as you see our model demonstrating here. You can look forward and you're going to take your right hand towards your left foot, twist and look behind, and then to the other side. So here we're getting the twisting action. We're also getting a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Again, turning the head from side to side, trying to keep the knees straight. Do not overextend. Be relaxed. Last 2. Back to that center point, and then inhale, bring the head up, and exhale, feet together, arms by the sides. Next, loosening exercise, bring the feet shoulder width apart. Take one hand at the chest, and one hand extends, and we're going to begin spinal twisting. So turning the upper part of the body, looking back with the head, and then reverse to the other side. And then continuous movements. Excellent. And slowing down. Wonderful. Now let's come down onto our mats on our hands and knees and prepare for cat and cow. So first of all, see that the knees are directly beneath your hips. Toes should be flat. And your hands and wrists should be directly under the shoulders. So we'll start with our backs flat. Begin by inhaling, and you're going to raise your head back and drop the belly down. So imagine that the navel is being pulled towards the floor. You're sticking your hips out to the wall behind you. Head comes all the way back. Elongate the throat. Now exhale and reverse the direction. Take the chin towards the chest. Stretch out the back of the neck. Pull the spine all the way up. Suck the belly in. Now inhale. Drop the belly down. Arch the spine. Exhale. Pull the navel up. Round out the spine. Inhale. Exhale. And continue. It's important to synchronize your breathing with these movements. Let's do 10 repetitions. Excellent, students. And now from here, sit back on your heels, moving into Vajrasana, also known as Thunderbolt pose. Now this may seem like a pretty simple sitting posture, but actually it can be difficult for many of us because it puts a lot of tension on the knees. So if you're finding it difficult to be in this pose, simply take a cushion and place it underneath your bottom, in between the feet. This will take any pressure and stress off of the knees, and you'll still get the nice stretch of the quadriceps and also in the ankles and in the feet. Vajrasana also helps to keep the spine nice and straight. So it's a great posture for breathing exercises and starting asanas. Let's place the hands on the thighs. And close the eyes. Let's take 3 breaths here. And try to observe where in the body you're feeling the changes. Where you're feeling any sensations. Wonderful. And now let's all come to standing. Our ancient yogis were very, very efficient. They knew that it was so important to maintain the body. Though they had no attachment to their physical body, they knew that they had to take care of it. They didn't want their bodies to become a burden on them. They had other work to do. They were on their spiritual path. They had to sit and meditate, contemplate for hours. And they didn't want any kind of disturbance in that. So they thought, what is the most efficient exercise or movement of the body that we can come up with that will take care of all our internal organs, keep our cardiovascular system functioning, respiratory system, our musculoskeletal system, our brain health, our endocrine health, and it should be able to be done quickly, without too much time, and without having to be overstrenuous. And it would be nice if it could also be done along with the morning prayers. And so they came up with what you are going to learn today, which is Surya Namaskar, or Salutation to the Sun, which is a series of 12 poses in one single flow. Takes about 30 seconds per round to do, or 1 minute per set. But if you learn this, our theme today, our focus today is on healthy body. You don't need to spend hours in a gym. You don't have to lift weights. You don't have to go for long runs. You simply add Surya Namaskar as part of your daily routine. And you can practice anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes. You'll all see our students here demonstrating this so wonderfully. And I hope that if there's any one thing I could give you as part of this camp in terms of yoga education, it's this that you're going to learn today. So let's all try together. Come to the front of your mats and bring the feet together and fold the palms at the heart center, as we did when we started the class. So this first round, I'm going to teach you the poses, and then we'll learn how to breathe as we do this. Inhale, everyone, raise your arms up. And now bend forward. Reach for your toes. If you're not grabbing your toes, no worries. You can place your hands on your shins as Mangala is demonstrating, or you can reach towards your toes as Henna is demonstrating. Now, right foot steps back into a low lunge. Step the right foot back and the right knee comes onto the mat. Take the head back and look up. The next pose, step the left foot back so that you are in like a push-up position, or what we call plank or kumbhakasana. This takes a fair amount of upper body strength. So if you're unable to do plank, you can lower the knees and raise your feet up. Dinesh, can you demonstrate? This is the modified version of plank pose. Now, the next one is a bit tricky. From plank, take your knees down, look between your hands, and I want you to take your chest straight down to the mat and rest the chin on the floor. When you do this, the hips should be up towards the sky, and you have a nice arch in the spine. The back of the neck is being compressed. Now, flatten the whole body. Come onto the floor and raise your head and chest slightly. Wonderful, everyone. Now, push into the mat with your hands and lift the hips up towards the air in the pose commonly known as downward dog. In Sanskrit, it is Adho Mukha Svanasana. The idea here is trying to send energy from the hips down towards your heels. So if you can, reach for the mat with the heels, and on the other side, you're pushing into the ground with both palms, sending energy up from your fingers through the spine. Now, Step the right foot forward between both hands. This can also take some practice. So if you need to, you can take your foot and give it some help. Bring it forward so that the toes and the fingertips are all aligned. And if you're not there today, don't worry. With practice, you'll certainly get there. Now step the left foot forward to meet the right, and we're back in our standing forward bend or Padahastasana. Now extend the arms out in front of you as you breathe in and come rising, reach for the sky, and then join the hands back to the heart center. Wonderful, everyone. I'm going to let you take a breath while I have Dinesh here demonstrate all the poses together in one flow. So let's observe him. Ekam, dve, trini, chatvari, pancha, chatta, sapta, ashta, nava, dasha, ekadasha, dvadasha. Wonderful. Shall we all try that together? Let's do. Ekam. Inhale, raise the hands, dve. Trini, exhale. Forward bending, reach for the toes. Chatvari, inhale, step the left foot back this time. Left knee on the ground. Pancha, exhale, right foot goes back into plank pose. Chatta, exhaling, knees, chest, and chin go down to the mat. Sapta, inhale, lift the head and chest. Ashta, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nava, inhale, stepping the left foot forward between both hands. Dasha, exhale, back into your forward bend. Ekadasha, inhale. Dvadasha, in Namaskar position. Wonderful. Let's do one more set. And this time I want to point out a few fine details so that you get into the right habits as you practice at home. Ekam, palms together. At the starting position, the feet should be together. If you don't have your heels together, at least the big toes should be touching. Shoulders should be back, chest should be wide, and the whole spine from the base of the skull all the way to the sacrum should all be aligned. Elbows up. Inhale, dve. When you reach up, try to bring the arms alongside the ears. Straighten your arms. Trini, exhale as you go down. Try to keep the knees straight. The chin should be touching towards the chest and the top of your head. Try to point it towards the floor. Now, Chatwari, stepping the right foot back. Here, the mistake that I often see is that people have their knee right under their waist. Bring your knee forward. More so. This is what I often see in Chatwari, which is incorrect. You're not getting the intended stretch here. So slide the knee back as much as you can. You're going to feel it in your right quadricep and also in the hip joints. Also, see that both palms are flat on the floor. Head is back and the eyes should look up. Wonderful. Pancha, plank. In plank, you're on your toes. The wrists should be directly beneath the shoulders, which will be the case if you didn't move them through the exercise. And what I commonly see in this pose is that the hips are like this, or they are sinking down. So you don't want that. You want to be in a straight line, or again, you can do the variation. Demonstrate. In the variation, the shoulders are still forward, the feet are up, and the knees are down. Back into plank. Now from here, drop your knees, Gaze between the hands and drop the chest down. Hips come up in the air. Back of the throat should be compressed. Flatten the body and lift the head and chest. Not too high. You can be on the toes or toes can be flat. And now push up. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Very important here. Try to open up in the shoulders. Straighten the elbows. Push down firmly through your hands. And in the back. Try to push the heels to the floor, even if they're not there yet. Have that intention. And then raise the hips up high. Knees are straight, elbows straight. And now try to bring your foot forward, all the way up, right foot between both hands as the left knee comes down. So some of you, go back, Ganesh, let's demonstrate. Some of you can't quite make it between your hands. So you may get this far. In that case, you can grab your foot and bring it forward, or you can lift up your body some to create space to bring your foot forward. Dasha, bring the left foot forward. And now let's see if you can remember all the tips I pointed out for the forward bend. Do you remember what they were? Knees straight, fingers pointing towards your fingers, or if your palms are touching the ground, have them alongside the feet. Chin tucked in towards the chest, top of the head pointing down, and the spine is nice and long. Inhale, reach the arms out in front with a straight spine and long arms. Look up, take the head back, and then bring the hands back to the heart center. Excellent. Now I'm going to teach you how to do Mukha Dhoti, or getting this air. Certainly you're going to be out of breath after a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. And how can we quickly bring our breathing back to equilibrium? Bring the feet apart, place the hands on the thighs. Take the chest forward and elongate the throat. And you're going to exhale out of your mouth. Demonstrate. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. 3 or 4 repetitions is enough. And now let's stand back in Tadasan. Hands by the sides, palms facing forward, shoulders back. Close the eyes. And observe all the changes in the body. Scan the body mentally from your toes through the feet, front and back of the legs, up into the thighs, the buttocks, hips, and pelvic region, the abdomen, chest, the whole upper and lower back muscles and whole spine, shoulders, arms, hands, throat, and in the head region. Not only is Surya Namaskar good for all the systems and organs of the body, but it can also help to increase longevity by bringing blood flow to the brain. You saw the number of times we dropped our head down below our heart. This increased supply of blood flow to the head helps us to keep our memories sharp, help us to focus and concentrate. It can even help with hair loss, prevent gray hair, improve sleep. There's so many benefits. This video will be available to you later on if you want to continue to practice and perfect this series of poses, but definitely incorporate it into your day in the mornings or in the evenings. The main thing is to practice on an empty stomach. Okay, we're now going to demonstrate a few standing poses to help bring strength into our lower body and to help increase our focus, our balance, all with the end goal of maintaining a healthy body. Let's start with Rakshasana, which is tree pose. So come to the center of your mats and start by planting your right foot into the mat. I want you to imagine that the right leg is like the trunk of a tree. It's strong and it's immovable. Now raise the left foot and place it either below the knee, or if you can, try to bring it above the knee. And we'll start by placing the hands at the heart center. Find your balance here. What will help a lot is if you fix your gaze at a single steady point. Try to do that. An external point, or more challenging, is an internal point. When you have your balance, try to raise your hands. You can raise them out to the side, or you can raise them up high as Dinesh here is demonstrating. And then if you can, bring the palms together. Our model here is demonstrating a bit of a more challenging variation. Oops, it was windy in here. And what he's doing is taking his arms alongside the ears with his elbows completely straight and palms together. Also, there's no gap between his calf muscle and his thigh. So this is what we're trying to aim to. And then at home, with your gaze fixed, you can try to hold steady for 30 seconds or up to 1 minute. Now, since my students here are so still and so perfect in the pose, I'd like you to try closing your eyes and see what happens. Children, if you're at home, kids tend to do wonderful at this. In my yoga camp for kids, they closed their eyes and held the pose for more than 15 seconds. I'll tell you the trick. And that is, with your eyes closed, focus on an internal point. And what I do is fix my gaze on the heel pushing into the ground. Let's all try for another few seconds. Wonderful job, everyone. And release that foot, Tadasan. Take 3 breaths. Why it's wonderful to start with Rakshasana? Because it gets your head into the game here. Helps you to focus and be ready for your asana practice. And also brings incredible strength into the legs. Let's try on the other side. Once again, plant your left foot. First, feel the foot pushing firmly into the ground. Again, envision your leg as the trunk of a tree. Immovable and indestructible, and now raise your right foot and place it below or above the knee. Fix your gaze at a point. Bring the hands to the heart center first. Find your balance here. And when you're absolutely steady, take the arms out to the side. Challenge yourself, bring the palms together. Try to bring the arms alongside the ears. Hold the pose. Beautiful, Ramdas. Shankar demonstrating with complete stillness. Very nice, Raoji. Rama and Henna. Very nice. I don't want to say Prem, he's my dad, so I have to say dad. Very nice, dad. Try to close your eyes. Anita, beautiful. You can't see her, but she's doing everything so nicely. And now open the eyes. Lower the right foot and the arms and relax in Tadasana for 3 breaths. Okay, bring the feet together and step to the left side of the mat. Our next asana is Veerabhadrasan 2 or Warrior 2. So step the feet wide apart on the mat. Now you want to get the feet almost as wide as you comfortably can. Now look down at your feet. Are they at an angle? If so, try to bring the toes a bit inward so that the outer edges of the foot are parallel to the edges of the mat. Now raise your arms up to the sides and see that your body is in one line, in one plane. Turn the right foot to the right and bend the right knee and sink the hips down. Wonderful. Gaze over the right middle finger. See that your back arm is in line with the front arm and that you're completely straight all across the shoulders. This is actually an active pose. It remains active, and so it builds incredible strength in the body. And hold. Let's breathe for 3 breaths. Beautiful Mangala. Nice job, Henna. Try to sink lower. Very good, Dad. Rauji, brilliant, perfect. Now to come out of the pose, straighten the right leg. Take your hands and place them on the hips. Right foot comes forward. And now try to step the feet together in one step. Excellent. Take 3 breaths. Let's now move to the other side of the mat. Step the feet wide apart in one smooth step. Check the positioning of your toes. Turn the left foot to the left, take the arms up. Turn the left foot. And now, bend the left knee. The knee should point towards your toes and sink the hips down. Wonderful. To really challenge yourself, try to continuously sink downwards, but make sure that the left knee doesn't go too far beyond your ankle. So if you need to, as Dinesh is demonstrating, he's going pretty deep in the pose, so I would suggest him to take his left foot a little bit more to the left. Very nice, Meena. And Shankar, very nicely demonstrated. Great, Ramdas. One more breath. Now, straighten the left leg, take the hands to the hips, turn the left foot to the front, and try to step back in one smooth step. Excellent. Tadasan, 3 breaths here. Now, turn the body and face the mat in front of you, right where you are. Raise the arms up. We're going into now Veerabhadrasan 3 or Warrior 3 pose. Step the right foot forward and now lift the back leg up as you drop your chest forward. Difficult pose now. So again, try to focus on a steady point. Let me show you some variations if you're a little bit wobbly at home. Take the arms out to the sides. That will help you with balance. Now take the arms back. And again, take the arms forward. Beautiful job, everyone. Now to come out, drop the back foot down. Arms go up in the air. And step the right foot back in one smooth step. Arms to your sides. Excellent. Let's take 3 breaths. Now step the left foot forward. Arms up. And let's start on the other side. Drop the chest forward as you step up with the back foot. Try to hold your balance. Our model on the main mat, he's lifted his back foot quite high. You don't have to do that. You want to try and keep your pelvis straight, not tilted. Good adjustments, everyone. Now take the arms out to the sides. Feel like you're flying through the air. Take the arms back. Now again to the front. And drop the right foot down to the mat. Arms go up. Bring the arms down and step the front foot back. Excellent. We hear Gurudev say that what we have is his gift to us, and what we do with what we have is our gift to him. But how often do we give attention to the greatest gift that we have, which is our health? The temple of our soul, our physical bodies. Just like a well-oiled machine, we need to give time and attention to the body. We need to make sure that not only do we keep our skin clean and our hair washed when we take showers, but we need to bathe the inner organs as well. And how do we do that? This is where Hatha Yoga comes in. It is one of the most effective methods to maintain optimal health. What we showed you and demonstrated today were practices that can easily be done at home. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special clothing. If you're at work and you have long hours and your body tends to feel stiff from sitting all day, get up, do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar, and then follow with these simple standing exercises. Even if you are out somewhere and you are wearing shoes, you can still do these standing exercises. And every day this week during camp, you will learn new asanas, all for different purposes. So rewatch this video, and I'm so glad you joined. We're now going to begin our pranayama practice. Let's all come into a comfortable sitting position. You can be on a cushion, on the floor, or you can be on a chair at home. Be comfortable. What we want to ensure is that the spine is straight. Let's place our hands on our knees. Close the eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths. Feel yourself breathing. Feel the flow of air entering through the nostrils into the lungs as you inhale. And feel the chest, the throat, the temperature of the air as you breathe out. Try to observe every aspect of your breathing. Do not force the breath. Let it be as it is. Simply observe. you will notice that simply by watching the breath, it begins to slow down. It begins to lengthen, become smoother and deeper. Allow these changes to take place. Let us begin pranayama with the practice of Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati literally means the skull shining breath because it activates our pituitary gland and it stimulates various nervous system functions in our body, as well as gives a cleansing to our lungs so that we can continue on with deeper and longer pranayama practices and breathing techniques. So to do this exercise, you're going to do quick, rapid exhalations coming from the belly. So let's place one hand over the navel region and let's practice. Take a deep breath in through the nose and begin exhaling through the nose quickly with short bursts of air. So each time you exhale, you slightly pull the navel in and contract the abdominal muscles, and you let air come into the lungs passively. And come to a stop. So the only thing that you should be feeling when you do this breath in terms of the movement is in the abdominal region. You shouldn't be feeling the shoulders or the chest or anything else. So let's try again. You can place one hand on the abdomen or you can place the hands on the knees. Make sure the spine is straight and long, aligned with the head. Take a deep breath in and begin. X, 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 X. Slowing down, exhale completely. Pull the belly in, squeeze the abdominal muscles, hold the breath. And inhale through the nose. Breathe in fully, hold the breath. And exhale to the nose. Resume normal, natural breathing and see if you can observe the subtle changes in your breathing and in the head region. Let's try this one more time. Take a deep breath in and begin. X, 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 X. Exhale completely. Hold the breath. Inhale. Fill the lungs. Hold the breath. And exhale. Normal breathing. And next we will learn a breath that we often practice during asana, and this is called Ujjayi Breathing. It helps to strengthen our lungs. Most of us barely use even 50% of our lungs, our lung capacity through the day. As we're working and multitasking, what happens is our breathing becomes very, very shallow. And we tend to breathe up in the shallowest part of the lungs, which is here up under the collarbone. And what happens with this shallow breathing is we don't get enough oxygenated blood, and we end up having weakness in the body. We get depleted of our vital energy, but also it leads to nervous system disorders such as increased anxiety, depression, lethargy, fatigue, demotivation. It's amazing how much our breathing has an impact on our physical, mental, emotional mindset. So to counter these effects, we can practice a very simple technique called Ujjayi. So in this, to demonstrate, you're going to close the mouth, but inwardly, mentally, breathe out and imagine that you are chanting the Om sound, except that it's not audible. So let's all take a deep breath in. And now breathe out and chant Om, but with the mouth closed and no sound. If you practice this way and you don't let any sound escape, what will happen is you will constrict the back of the throat and very little air comes out from the nose as you exhale. And that's what we're going for. So it's like the sound, like if you were to put a big seashell against your ear and you hear the sound of the sea, it's that kind of sound. Let's try again. Breathe in. And begin breathing out. Ujjayi. Excellent. So perhaps you were able to see how much you could extend the exhalation by breathing with this method. Now we're going to continue breathing Ujjayi. Okay, we're going to do about 8 to 10 repetitions. Inhale normally through the nose and exhale using this technique. Now, I want you to try and mentally count the length of the exhalation. Okay, after about 3 or 4 breaths, we'll do this. So let's begin. Inhale. Exhale Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale. Long and slow. Hear the sound of the chant or the sea. Inhale. Exhale. Constricting the back of the throat. Inhale. Now count the length of your exhalation doing Ujjayi breath. Now inhale for half that duration. So if you exhaled for 10, inhale for 5. And continue breathing this way using a 1-to-2 ratio, Ujjayi breathing. This time as you breathe out, I want you to feel your whole body relaxing and letting go through the entire exhalation. Relax your whole body as you breathe out. You can continue to count mentally, or you can let go of the count and focus on different muscles of the body relaxing. Start with your lower legs and knees and thighs. And with each breath out, moving upward in the body, deeply, deeply relaxing. Now, once the whole body feels deeply relaxed, release the Ujjayi breath and resume your normal, natural breathing. And observe this amazing transformation in your breath, that even your normal breathing now is deep, slow, and smooth. And feel the effects that it has on you, on your mind. Notice the slowing down of thoughts. Perhaps the mind was racing before you started the class, but witness now the rate of thoughts and observe that gap between thoughts. Experience that silence, the silence of a quiet and calm mind. And realize that that is consciousness, pure consciousness. When we are simply in a state of awareness, awareness of our being, fully absorbed in this present, but without thought or disturbance. Like a clear and calm lake without a ripple. This is the state we know as yoga. Union with our higher self. Let us remain in this state for another minute. For even 1 minute of this silence has tremendous benefit and impact on our everyday lives. Let us now join the hands in prayer position and recite our Shanti mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. We're so glad you joined us today, and we hope you'll be with us every day during this camp where we're going to learn new things, new asanas, new pranayama techniques, and for many of you, this could even be life-changing. Hari Om, and see you back tomorrow.